This drawing almost didn't happen. Um, at the beginning, something fell off. The proportions weren't right, and the structure kind of felt awkward. And honestly, I thought about starting over. Excuse me, which goes against some advice I gave not too long ago. I said just follow through. The reason I was thinking about starting over though was because it was just a time crunch thing. Um, I try to. I'd like to be doing things a lot more often, but when I get busy, sometimes that's not going to be the case. You also have to get good sleep at night so you can recover from stuff if you're trying to do a lot at a lot of volume. Like you have to balance everything. So what happens is I'm not saying I have a quota for how much art I have to put out, but like if I'm trying to even follow something like that, um, if I'm very, very aware that something's off, which is something I've gotten very good at reading, um, like for example, there was a part of the face that people might not recognize that it's off, but to me it's off because it wasn't what I intended. Right? What happens is I could be aware of that and just taking into account that I'm doing this in pen and I can't erase like and me knowing that all right, like I was trying to get something trying to finish a piece of art within a span of a few hours and I'm not gonna have time to approach art again until like tomorrow and I have a bunch of other things I gotta do that, that's why I would even make a decision like that. Um or I could just not finish a piece and not post art because maybe I finished this piece and it didn't come out correctly. Which has more to do with me not giving myself enough credit because what happens is things could end up seeming like it's really not gonna it just does because my skill level's improving enough over time that I'm able to just clean things up even if I make mistakes in pen, right? So I'm actually there's quite a few times that I'm questioning things and it just comes out good enough to post for my standard. Should really just post everything whether it's a mistake or not. It's not like I'm saying I need to be perfect. It's not like I'm saying, oh, I'm able to do something on such a high level I should only output stuff like that. No, like I'm realistically just putting out what I do. If something is so off that it should like within my first maybe few weeks getting back into it, there was things that were off. And that was happening from me being like mentally overloaded with getting back into the learning curve within a span of a few weeks. So that's why um after having done this on and off for many years at this point, my first few weeks posting again on Instagram, uh it's as if I was like trying to grade what my art was, jumped up like quite a few levels in a few weeks, and then it started slowing down or whatever because I was just getting back to where I left off, or whatever, right? And your brain has muscle memory and stuff, right? But what happens is, the leaps were happening so fast that there was art I was doing, and the proportions would be way off within the same picture I'm drawing, and then I have to reset because what happens is my brain is trying to drawing at a higher level so quickly that literally it's messing up my proportions. So I draw like half a face correctly, and then when I'm getting to the other eye or the other or a hair strand or whatever, I somehow draw that bigger or smaller than it's supposed to be in proportion to everything else, and then that would throw off the whole other half of the face. So that's another thing that happens as well. If your learning curve is building up fast, it can cause you to have proportions off. Now, most people don't have to even listen to me talking about, oh, just follow through because you're probably not doing this in pen. You probably just erase it. So that's not, but there's people who would be erasing and they still start over. You should really just follow through unless you have a quota to meet that you're giving yourself for some reason. But even though you're trying to meet that quota, you start over, finish a piece of art, meet the quota, and then go back to that one you didn't finish afterwards, and then just try to see how correct you can get it afterwards. and just let that be an extra practice session. Is the way I should really word it, so that you're at least uh, during each week, you're drawing art, you're doing whatever you're doing to practice, but like it's an excuse to get more practice in each week, which is going to result in you out of like however long it takes for you to see you're constantly improving, but like you might not notice it, but then you'll see bigger jumps, and your bigger jumps could appear a lot sooner, and your bigger jumps can also have a lot more within that jump. Like there's a lot more things that are better with your detail and structure and just everything you're doing, because you just got in more practice within a compressed amount of time. So it's not even like you're stretching yourself to do more. It's like no, you're just simply finishing something that you started so that you can get the full practice percentage of, you know, stress on your hands and eye coordination's ability to draw something and get it correct and understand what you're doing and have reflexively built up like motor patterns that are subconscious. Like a lot of these, what happens is like a lot of stuff becomes subconscious as well. So as you're drawing, you're on purpose trying to do certain things, but certain things are just accidentally coming out correctly the better you get as well. That's another thing as well. Like that's why it's taking you less effort to do better like over time. Like your subconscious handles a lot of things over time in big leaps, and then you're on purpose also trying to get it correct, and it both works together. And then all of a sudden you're just consistently improving at whatever rate, right? Um, but yeah, so instead I decided to fix it. I started by lightly blocking in the shapes and nothing detailed, just trying to understand the form. And then this is where most people mess up. They jump straight in the details, but if the foundation is off, no amount of detail will save it. You literally have to redraw the structure underneath in order to save any details, literally. Adjusting the head shape, reworking the proportions, making small corrections over and over again. Um, and slowly it started to come together. This part isn't exciting, it's slow, it's frustrating, and it feels like you're not improving. But like I said, you just have to give it time and allow you're on purpose trying to get better, obviously, and not forcing it, but like you're putting in your practice, but you're literally your body's coordination on a subconscious level, and what you're able to even do while you're relaxing or while you're trying to draw, like that has to, those cells that are being built from your brain to your hand and into your finger coordination, that takes time to literally build. Like just like when you work out in the gym and the cells have to grow back and recover stronger so you can do more over a very, very long period of time. It's the same with art. It's just is building coordination, really, and hand-eye coordination, I should say. Um, adjust. Okay. This, yeah. So, but this is actually where the biggest growth happens. Obviously, once the structure felt solid, everything got easier. The lines became clear, and the shapes made more sense, and the drawing finally started to look the way I imagined. That's when I moved into and cleaning up the sketch, sharpening the lines, and adding definition where it mattered. Um, and now you can really see the difference for something that I almost scrapped, to be honest. And then into something I'm actually proud of. And that's the thing about drawing. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they quit during the early stage. If you can push through that phase, you'll improve faster than you think. So next time your drawing looks bad at the start, don't quit. Just completely try to fix it and then get the game.